micro improvements very often body won't realize we actually do, and that's where we actually can lead to success.
So today I'm sitting with Peter Tylinkski, who is what I would call someone who is fairly knowledgeable in the area of, of, of movement, of physio, of action, of body, because he is a trained physiotherapist.
Yes.
And today we're going to talk about an episode that you have from a personal experience where you had an injury and you applied the knowledge that you had and how you overcame this with the use of some technology as well and the professional knowledge, but also the motivation and the action that's important. So Peter is good.
Yes. I'm feeling way better than in May this year when it actually started. And it was actually painting this wall. You actually we were not planning this.
No.
You were not aware of this
No.
when we actually picked this spot. But it was actually this particular wall when I felt like a kettle hot water going down my legs, and I knew exactly what happened that time. I knew because obviously I'm a physio, so knowing what happened, I straight away went upstairs, vaguely almost fell on the stairs because I started losing power in my legs, and when I dropped myself on the bed for pretty much 2 days, I couldn't walk.
Wow.
I stayed in bed for pretty much 2 days, and that was quite scary because when you as a physio know symptoms which are serious, when you hear from patients, I have this, I have that, and I have this, you send them to A&E straight away.
Yeah.
And it's usually that they need surgery, decompression, immediate decompression. And I knew I have this, I have this, I have that. I was really.
So you kind of, from a professional perspective, figured out that there's a problem with your disc.
Yes.
And it's really acute.
Absolutely. And I actually knew that there's more than one disc, because obviously I did all the tests, trying to go on the heels, toes, and the slump tests, and so on. So I knew that there's more than just one disc which went out. And in a way, I made the decision not to go to A&E straight away, which is something which I do not advise.
Okay, just let me pause there for a second, because what I forgot to say as we've started this is purely education.
Yes.
This is not advice
No.
about what you should or shouldn't do in case of X, Y, or Z. This is educational. These are talking about, we're going to share some of the principles of what you do in terms of situations with health issues.
Yes.
But it is purely education.
Yes, thank you. I decided that I would do certain exercises and apply all of my knowledge to overcome it.
Yep.
And it was incredibly fast improvement, incredibly fast, so fast that is almost unheard of, that on the third week I went back to work full time.
So 3 weeks is your time frame. What is the
2 weeks. On the third week I went back to 2 weeks. Yes.
So between 2 and 3 weeks is your time. What is the normal? If I had done that,
if you slip one disc,
yeah,
it's usually 6 to 12 weeks.
Okay.
Of recovery time.
Okay.
Yes.
We have to be careful, because people are going to say, "Oh, these are miracles that you're doing here on yourself."
Yes, but you see, miracles happens often when we apply knowledge properly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we as a human beings are quite lazy. we like pattern.
Yeah.
We are in a way autistic. We like same things. So if someone asks us to do exercises, it's really hard to suddenly do exercises. And if someone tells you, oh, drink this cup of tea, it's really hard to start drinking this cup of tea because we don't like changes. Our body doesn't like changes. Knowing this, I could control my mind. I could be over it. I could actually do my exercise as often as I knew I should.
Yeah.
I could do all of that treatment plan on a regular basis.
So one of the first things I'm hearing there's a principle attached to doing an action and then having the ability to focus or control your mind, as you say, that enables you to take the action.
Yes.
So just run me through, is that a difficult thing?
Yes.
So I'm glad you say, that this thing is a bit difficult, that because we're normal human beings, and a lot of time you're thinking, yeah, well, do you need to be a Superman to be able to work through the stuff of getting your mind to go in the same place that your body needs to go?
Yeah, so in a way you have to be a Superman.
Okay.
It is very difficult to actually do it. Because at the very beginning when I was doing my exercises, they were almost agonizing. And my brain was saying to me, don't do it. Stop.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there needs to be fine balance between knowing what's right for your body and what actually is causing more harm. As a physio, we always say, if the exercise causes you pain, stop doing this exercise. But there's a moment where you can actually cause yourself a little bit of discomfort.
Okay. So you're distinguishing between discomfort and pain.
Correct.
So what is that boundary like?
So it's a level of the pain. Level of the pain where you feel that it's getting worse while you're doing it, and the other way where actually you have discomfort but gradually it's easing and easing. So with particularly few exercises I could feel relief. I could then sit up, and where before I was just lying flat, and then I was able to stand where before I could only sit. Okay. So you could see the progress. You could see that, oh, I can actually make 2 steps. I can actually go downstairs. I can go to the loo.
Very important.
Very important, yes. Especially if you are almost paralyzed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you feel the stages when a certain exercise are started to link with improvement, with some effect.
So for you, you've got this situation where there's some pain to start with, or some discomfort, as you put it. Are you pushing through maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a certain number of reps?
Even sometimes couple of seconds, and if you feel like, oh wait, that's way too much, you can let go a little bit.
Okay.
With the movement, if someone says, oh, do this movement, yes, and if oh wow, it really hurts here, why not stopping here?
Or even here.
Exactly.
Whatever it is.
So you don't have to blindfoldly follow advice. There needs to be a give as well. We need to find the balance. You see, with life, with exercise, with diet, it's everything about balance.
Yeah.
Once we go extreme, that's when we suffer.
Yeah, no, I like that. Because that's where I think a lot of people, either you say, well, I can't do it, but they're actually thinking about, I can't do this.
Yes.
Whereas you say, okay, forget about what you can't do.
Correct.
Let's do what you can do.
And this is you'll be surprised how many patients come back to see me and say, Peter, I can do this exercise, I can do this exercise, I cannot do that, I cannot do that. And I say to them, okay, show me. And they are doing the movement almost 90%, and then 10% they're missing. And you see, Peter, I cannot do it. So I said, oh, have you tried to do half of it at least? Oh, no, because I cannot do all of it.
So it's an all or nothing mindset.
You don't have to. No. Yes, it's a mindset, absolutely. Yeah. It's either I do it or I not. But as I said before, our brain is very, very basic, that sort of autistic part. and that's why body rejects it straight away, and it's a comfort, you know, because if it doesn't hurt, I do it. If it hurts, I stop. So I always feel great.
And that's right. It's dualistic.
Yes.
It's all or nothing.
But then you will never improve.
No.
If you don't push yourself. If you think about people at the gym, if they only exercise to the level where they feel nothing, there will be no improvement. Never.
Yeah.
They need to be a little bit push.
Yeah.
They need to be sacrifice. Extra minutes, extra repetition, extra hour. They need to be extra in order to get extra.
And I like the way you gradated that. So extra minute, extra hour, extra.
Yes.
But it's stepwise.
Absolutely, and I've heard that actually this is not my creation, but I thought it was. I said many times to my patients that I like, or body likes 10% rule. So what I mean by 10% is that if you, let's say you run regularly for a mile, and then you decide to run for a mile and 100 yards, your body won't even realize that you actually increased the distance because it's so minuscule. But you actually increased it by 10%, which is quite significant. Or if you do bench press of 60 kilo and you add 6 kilo, it's very unlikely you're going to damage yourself. But if you double the weight, or double the distance, or double the speed, more likely you will suffer. So that sort of micro improvement, very often body won't realize we actually do, and that's where we actually can lead to success.
So you, in other words, you're kind of like fooling your body.
Yes, it's all about. You see, I always said that there are two brains. The tiny inside, the basic one, which is responsible for reflexes and all the primitive response, touching a hot pan and moving your hand away, and the outside, the smart brain, which allows us to study, to evolve, and they're different. Yes, the smart brain likes to improve, likes to go forward. The basic brain doesn't like changes, because that's from tens of thousands of years of evolution. Staying status quo, staying in the same moment, in the same situation, protects us.
So Peter, we've been talking about 10% changes and incremental changes. I have to say I have a problem. My problem is I don't like getting out of bed.
Yes.
So I don't know, how do I get out 10% out of bed?
Well, you need to go to the loo, right?
Have you been following me around again? That's a really good point.
Yes. So you already made more than 10%.
Yes.
Because surely your toilet is not next to your bed.
No, it's not.
So it's possibly in a different room.
It is,
And there will be more than 5 steps to get there. And it might be that 10% is very minuscule to start with, because let's say, okay, I go to the toilet and back, talking about this particular example, which is, let's say, 10 steps, but then you have 11 steps. So it's a very tiny number. But if you think about further adding that 10%, then you realize when you reach to 1,000 steps, you already have 1,000 and 100.
Yes.
So you increase by 100, not by 1. And when you think about 10,000 steps, it is a very small change for the body. 10,001.
Yes.
Yes. 11. I mean 11,000.
So I remember when we were talking earlier, and you said about going down to the local Tesco.
Yes.
And for me, you say, okay, well, I go down to the high street, so I go to the co-op. And for me, that is 2,000 steps, because I measured it. And so that 10% maybe, instead of just going to the co-op,
go around it.
Go around it.
And it will be 2,200.
Right.
And body won't realize it.
Yes.
Because it's just 10% more. But actually, you already made the progress. Yes, and that progress one day will be tiny, but then more months later, weeks later, you realize you're getting way more steps than you could. But if you think about not making any changes, you always will go just to Tesco and back. And at some point there will be less than Tesco because you get tired. You're thinking, oh, maybe I'll get my shopping online. Maybe I'll ask Tesco to deliver it to my home because it's so comfortable. I can still carry on watching stuff on the telly.
I have a problem with what you just said in going around the co-op. I'm never going to convince my wife that we need to walk around the co-op, because she would look at me and say, what's the point of going around the co-op when we can just go straight into the co-op?
Yes, the point is to give to your body, which is begging you to receive, but is a comfort which stops us from doing so.
Yeah.
When you have a child, you love your child, it's lovely to give. And weirdly, we don't give enough to our own body. And it's only one which we received through our life, and somehow we struggle to give.
Yep.
And I think the most important is to understand the purpose. The purpose of why should I give to my body extra? And I think the answer is the reward. Because at the very beginning you won't see the change. You won't see much of the change because you just went around the cope. Your body won't feel much changes, but more you add, then you realize you actually done half marathon.
Around the co-op.
Around the co-op.
Maybe if I could say to her, you know what, I know she will totally resist me if I say I'm going around to do a half marathon. Maybe if we went a little further and went down to the
park, which you never managed to because there was a restriction in the distance.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have an aim.
Yeah.
And the aim needs to be achievable. We cannot say that, oh, I have a total 2 knee replacement, I want to do double marathons. Maybe, but you know, let's be sensible. Let's do half marathons first.
Or maybe 100 meters.
Or 100 meters and 110.
Yeah.
Yes, or kilometer and 100.
Yeah.
So yeah, just let's make improvement manageable, sensible.
And I know when we were talking earlier, I think we said something about if you don't increase, you can actually slide backwards.
You always will.
You always will.
Always will. Because body is destined to get older. At some point, I mean, when we reach 30, 35, we already have that peak.
Yeah.
And then we lose. We lose more than we gain. We start realizing, oh, I have a grey hair. That's a loss.
No hair.
That's a lot. Oh, no hair.
Yes.
Oh, I have a grey beard. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's losing. Wrinkles. That's already losses we started getting. But the joints are the same. We don't realize our joints are aging because we don't see them, right? They're covered by the skin. So as skin gets wrinkles, joints, muscles get wrinkles. Yeah, they get weaker, they get fatigued, they need more time to recover. So when we are 20 years old, we go to the gym, next day, oh, achy, I've done too much gym. Third day, feeling perfect. If you're 50 years old, you go to gym, next day, oh, I've done too much. Second day, oh, I still feel it. Third day, oh, I still feel it. Because body needs more time to recover. So if we don't push ourselves, I can almost guarantee it's only going to go backwards.
So in talking about the co-op or Tesco, I think what we talked about earlier is that if I get comfortable with sitting and going to Tesco, one day I'm going to look on the phone and go, and it's going to be the doorbell's ringing with my food.
Yes.
Because you get then you start to slide backwards.
Absolutely. And
but
motivation,
almost,
there wasn't motivation there. There won't be motivation later on. Yes, because then you realize, well, I cannot even leave my house. So don't ask me to go to Tesco.
Yes.
Yes. Where when you were able to go to Tesco, why not going around it? people need to realize where they're heading, where they can lead themselves to.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
need to distinguish that difference, and that can be sometimes motivation to, okay, let's do this stupid 5 steps. Yes, and that 5 steps can get you from that path, being pretty much disabled, to that path, which allows you to have a life
Yeah.
for much more, yeah, for much longer.
I think that's key. The other piece I wanted to pick up on that we just started to talk about is the aging process and then the period of rest. So a lot of people, I think, yeah, it's obvious, like, all the hair, all that
Yes.
sort of stuff. But as you continue to progress your 10% gain, the rest period, in your professional opinion,
You need longer.
is longer as well.
Yes.
And that is key, that I think a lot of us probably don't get the fact that, oh yeah,
Correct.
I need longer rest.
Correct.
periods.
But that applies to extremes. So if, for instance, you have a routine,
Mhm.
you don't need extra rest.
Good point.
Yes. When you go to gym for the first time where you've never been, you need that complete break from gym. Yeah. So when you have a great routine, your body needs pretty much the same amount of rest.
Yes. Well put. In your terms, in your practical healing yourself of your disc problems, how did you apply that rest bit? Because we've talked about, the exercise, the nutrition, we've talked about the tech.
Yes.
How did you see the application of rest in that?
So I had everything set with my alarm on the phone.
Right.
So because I'm a creature of habits, as I said, we all are.
Yeah.
I'm no exception. I'm also a human being, and I'm a creature of habits. And if I'll try to self-motivate myself, do exercises, I'll skip every now and then. So I force myself to create a routine by putting on my phone every 6 hours Voltarol gel,
Yes.
every 12 hours ultrasounds, every 4 hours ice packs, every 4 hours exercises. So when the alarm was ringing, oh, is it time for laser? Boom. When
Yeah.
the alarm was ringing, it's time for ultrasounds. So it's actually more setting everything and
Yeah.
reminding myself, yeah, knowing that I cannot do Voltarol gel all the time.
Yeah.
It's unhealthy.
Yes.
I cannot do exercises all the time because it's unhealthy. So I set the time,
Mhm.
and then I know I need 12 hours between this. I need 24 hours between that. So the phone will just give me this guidance.
That's really good, because for a lot of people listening, well, everybody's busy, and so what you've done is offload all of the mental kind of extra weight
Yes,
onto a device
yes.
based on where you want to go.
And you can forget about it then.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you can think about making yourself a nice cup of tea or coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to remember it, because it's a phone, it's a technology which is now remembering that for you. And funny enough, later on what I realized is that I was almost preparing myself for certain things before alarm was ringing.
Yeah.
Because I already got fixated to that. So my brain created routine. And then when I was getting much better, I was thinking, oh, I was still do ultrasounds on my back. Even though I didn't have to,
Yes.
because it was so much better, I was almost like,
Bring it on.
yes, I need that. I need that, because
Yeah.
that's the beauty of our human body.
Yes.
That routine, which doesn't matter if it's a good routine or bad routine, it wants to do it again,
Yes.
because it feels safe
Yeah.
doing so.
That's really key. The idea of creating a safe space for you to almost land into.
Yes, and I think the summarization of that, all of that, is if I know that my lifestyle is not good, why not doing that micro changes to get myself to the lifestyle which I'm proud of? And when I get to that lifestyle which I'm proud of, you struggle to get to the junky lifestyle, because your body loves the good style already. Yeah?
That's really important. I think what you're saying with that is, if you can get addicted to your junky lifestyle, you can get addicted to your good
Listen,
lifestyle.
absolutely. I've been growing stuff for many years. Ever since I've started growing, especially tomatoes, because this is like my Zen thing with my granddad, who taught me how to grow them. I cannot imagine having a garden without tomatoes. I cannot imagine pinching suckers, you know, the extra leaves which you need to take out. It's almost like addiction, but it's a good addiction.
It's a good addiction.
Yeah, so let's get ourselves to lifestyle which we know I'm going to be proud of, I'm going to feel comfortable with, I'm going to be healthy, and then you realize your body will try to stick to that because it feels good.
Yeah. So Peter, as we start to wind down this discussion, we just to summarize to anyone, it's about taking the small steps. It's about understanding that we all have our comfort zones, but you're taking your small steps and you're building on it and you're building on it. And then as you move forward, your mind acclimatizes to it.
It's a good word.
So to keep doing it, eventually you know it will happen.
Yes.
And you can pull yourself forward in a positive way.
Yes.
And in so doing, you can accelerate your healing.
Yes.
Peter, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And
pleasure.
For anyone listening, remember, if you're in an acute phase, get the help, get the professional help.
Yes.
Because without that getting into professional help, you may cause yourself more damage. So in any acute phase, the first thing to do is get professional help, and then to do a little bit of research, and keep pushing the boundary a little bit at a time, and we will get there.
Yeah.
You can get there. It is possible.
And don't be afraid to talk to people about it.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a physiotherapist, I had a session booked with a physio, NHS physio, and even though I knew band-wise he was very young, very little experienced physio, I still went.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound like, oh, I knew more than this guy, but I still went to this guy. Why? Because we don't know everything. And I might think that, oh, I know everything, but this young fella who just finished his degree might add that 10%.
That's 10% that you need.
Which I didn't know about.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to ask, how can I improve?
Yeah.
Talk to people, because you might realize you don't know that 10%, which actually can lead you to a completely different world.
Fantastic. So if you like what you heard, do subscribe. Click the like button.
Over there,
yes. And share it with your friends. For anyone who needs this. And I know there's loads of people who do. Peter, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.